Hey! What's up, Sunday fams? Welcome back to another video. We get together every Sunday to catch up on our favorite TV shows, movies, and everything in pop culture entertainment. My name is Flip.
I'm Element, and today we are going to discuss this not so new anime, but this continuation of a famous anime that we have been a longtime fan of, Naruto. We're talking about Boruto. So we have an important question to pose to you guys today, and this goes out to all of the people who are watching us right now who haven't seen Boruto and wondering, is Boruto worth watching? Is this anime something you should invest in? I don't know, you look at the pictures and you look at the promos for this and you're like, oh, it looks kind of kiddie or what have you, and is this anime similar to Naruto, in the vein that you'd get the same feelings or experiences?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, like, I didn't start watching Boruto until recently, right? It's been out for maybe half a year now. It came out maybe last year in the summertime, and I was kind of skeptical at first just because Naruto was such an amazing series. I grew up on Naruto. I guess I grew up on Naruto. We grew up on that, right? Yeah, we all
grew up on Naruto.
I guess if you were a big Naruto fan, then you must have checked out Boruto, and if you haven't yet, we're gonna talk about whether it's worth it or not. Boruto is very nostalgic. It's very, very, very nostalgic. It's like Naruto 2.0. That's my takeaway from watching it, and it's nostalgic because you get to see all of the characters that you loved before in Naruto. You get to see Shikamaru, you get to see Sasuke, you get to see Naruto as a Hokage now. Who else do we get to see?
Everybody. You'll get to see all of the things he said in terms of nostalgia, but you also get to see a kind of a continuation of where you left off with these wonderful characters that you remember from Naruto. And that's where he gets this Naruto 2.0 from. You know, it's the same universe, everyone's grown up, but there's a new generation of young kids to follow and fall in love with. When we talk about nostalgia, obviously we're talking about bringing back the old characters and seeing them all grown up and seeing them stronger. You know, a lot of times when I think back at Naruto, it's like a story of how Naruto, you know, came into a special kind of power that he had within him. And, you know, he did get strong. A lot of those, the younger generation in Naruto did get stronger as the anime went by. And it's interesting to see in Boruto how much they've evolved, right? How the terms of strength have changed.
It's also been interpreted differently in this new generation. Now, the other point that I wanted to make also is that it's relevant. Just going off of that bandwagon of evolving strength and how it's interpreted in this generation of Naruto 2.0, which is, of course, Boruto. The passing of knowledge and the evolution of how they gain their powers is completely different. And the reason why I say it's relevant is because it's kind of like you take into the fact that we're in this age of social media and technology, right?
Yeah.
And so is in this series that the future is moving really fast and the old ninja ways might be left behind. But it also tells you a very important lesson that it's more important now than ever for the ninja ways.
This universe, obviously, they have smartphones now. They have tablets and computers. I mean,
and they have shows and movies.
Yes, last time we saw Naruto, the Hokages were in their offices and, you know, writing things on tactile pieces of paper. And in Boruto, he's on a computer. He's on his little Mac, just kind of like going through his.
They make phone
addendums.
calls now. They make phone calls.
Yeah,
they used to send falcons or hawks to get messages.
Messenger falcons, but of course, in this case, Boruto is a little bit more contemporary. We have a lot of technology. They have a railroad system that's going through their village. But the one thing I did want to touch on in Boruto specifically is when he says Naruto 2.0, there is an air of cloning here. And I'm not talking about Orochimaru cloning, I'm talking about storyline cloning.
Storyline cloning.
So,
spoiler 2.0.
Yeah, so I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but it's practically the same narrative that you followed in Naruto into Naruto Shippuden. You know, there's obviously Boruto, and then his group of friends. They're struggling with their exams, they're struggling with the academy, and then there's a friend who leaves. They have to go chase after him. They have to go into enemy territory and bring him back, and then all this shit goes down, and it's just like you get thrown back into the old story of Naruto.
Right.
But it does it in a way where it still feels like it's a story worth watching, because there's some underlying narrative that's happening with Boruto and his eye, how Naruto and Hinata have passed on something that's quite special to this story.
Yep.
But it's also flipping things on its side. It's flipping the script. Naruto followed Jiraiya in the old cartoon, right? And his son is following a different mentor this time around, and it's kind of like seeing what would have happened if Naruto trained with someone else. Maybe if they switched Kakashi to train with Naruto and Jiraiya trained Sasuke back in the old cartoon. So we're seeing all of these kind of what ifs happen in Boruto when there's this kind of familiar roadmap of how the story is going to unfold, but we have like a branching narrative of where things could have ended up if it was reversed.
Yeah, that's why it feels so fresh yet so familiar.
Yes.
Right? And the current themes, it still has the same themes that you loved in Naruto. The power of friendship is still very important. Never giving up and doing what's right.
Yes. And so with that, we remember Naruto versus Sasuke. We remember Orochimaru versus Sarutobi Sensei. And, it goes on from there. Itachi versus Sasuke, the Akatsuki, and all of that. And Madara. All of those fights from Naruto were prime examples of what we could expect from this anime. And when Boruto shows us our first kind of important fight, it's with someone you don't expect, but you appreciate, because she's never had, and I spoiled it a little bit, I said she, but she's never had a moment to shine quite as much as this first fight. And so when we move forward along the narrative, we see a lot more important fights happening, and it just kind of like dawns on you that you're watching just another Naruto with modernized animation, with more with better technology, and you get to see everyone with more power, more skills, more techniques, better ways of using their fighting prowess.
It doesn't take that long to get into Boruto and its epic fight sequences until you get to about episode 30 to 40. The sequences, the choreography, you notice the shift in animation quality. You know that the big guns have moved in to animate these sequences. You know exactly what happens. There's a shift. There's a little bit less detail in facial features, but then more detail in choreography. The sequences when they use their jutsu and their battle formations and their techniques and how they all come together really comes to life in screen. So to close it all off, do we think Boruto is worth it?
It's so worth it. You might look at Boruto and you're like, that's not Naruto, but you watch it, you understand its story, and you accept that the times are moving and the times are changing. You still get to see the old characters with their new lives going forward, but at the end of the day, this is a classic Naruto story that you need to experience. All right, guys, that'll do it for our discussion on whether or not Boruto is worth your time. Do you think it's worth your time? Let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you know when we release new videos. And again, if you haven't seen Boruto, see it! Watch it!
Go see it!
We'll see you next week.